Okay, I wanted to show you this number sequence. Um, I've called it the Odyssey Sequence. Okay, I've called it the 9/11 Odyssey Sequence, right? And there's a reason why I've called it this. Obviously there's an obvious reason why it's 9/11, but there's a reason why I've chosen Odyssey Sequence as well. When you start a Fibonacci type sequence, right, you can pick any two numbers that you want. I've mentioned this before. You can pick any two random numbers and start the sequence with those numbers, and then after just a couple of connotations of those two numbers being added backwards and forwards. Okay, so within this added to this equals goes to the 20, and then the 20 plus the 11 goes to 31. 31 plus 20 goes to 51, and so forth and so on. Okay, within a few of those movements there, you are edging towards the golden ratio. Okay, what is interesting is that, yeah, you can just choose any two numbers and start a sequence, right? So obviously I thought, I just got to think about this the other day, and I thought, you know what, I'll try a 9/11 sequence. And this is what comes up. And immediately I was like, as soon as I saw a 9/11 repeated within this sequence, I was like, I was blown away. Basically, I was like, this is mental, because I don't think, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think there's any other. No, I take it back. There is another sequence that I know of that does have a repeat number in it, and I'm going to do a video on it because obviously it's a super important number for the stuff that I talk about. But this 9/11 repeating was just, I was absolutely just, I was just blown away. And what tops it off is that when it's laid out like this, when we start on 9 and then we have 11 as our second number, because you could flip these around, or you could even, if you wanted to, you could start on the number 2, so it'd be 2, 9, and it would be the same sequence going through here, but this would shift these numbers this way one. Yeah, so our number line would line up differently with our actual numbers that we were getting. Okay, which again was interesting with the 29 and the relationship of 29 back to the 1118, right? But forgetting about that for a minute and just sticking with what I had, which was starting on 9/11, starting with 9/11, right? Check out how that relates to the number line here, okay, and what we have up the top of here, and then look at what we get when we get to the other 9/11. We've got a 10 here, and I've put this line in the center here, which is the balance point of what we've got going on here. Okay, and the reason why I've chosen that as the balance point is because, of course, between 5 and 6 in our reality, the number 5.5, obviously 55, obviously that is to do with balance between our two sides of reality, and so this is just a natural place to always stick a balance line between 5 and 6, right? But look at how this plays out with 9/11 here. So if we box the first two number sets together here, we have a mirrored 10 right here, mirroring with this 10 over here. Okay, and we are, 1, 2, 3, 4 sets that way, and 1, 2, 3, 4 sets that way, and we have the 9/11 as well. Not quite mirrored, but we have it repeated. Okay, so I thought this was just pretty mental, really. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. You know, there's other numbers that you can see in here, like there's 231 there, which is, that is a number that shows up quite a lot. Obviously 213 shows up a bunch, but there's an 82 there. Remember in that last video I was talking about 28 days later. 133, I've talked about that before. That is like the Big Mac there, the letter M and the letter C. Okay, Mac, 13 and 3, and that shows up in the chart of Lorraine as part of the diagonal, what I call the cross of the Great Scott, which is the cross of St Andrews, that is in the, what I think is in the table. Here's a 215, 215, Christmas numbers, dartboard numbers. Okay, you know, and so it goes on. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, even this number is a kind of a Christmassy number, because if you go from 9/11 and you go 105 days, I believe it is, that will take you to Christmas, if I'm remembering correctly here. So again, super important, the 105 and the 51. Okay, what's 348? I'm on December here, and 348th day of the year is the 14th of December. It's Washington's death date. Sorry, Washington's death date there. So super interesting again. So what else? You know, what else is there? I don't know about this number here. 563. Obviously, what springs to mind when I see that is reverse it at 365. So, you know, numbers that are, you know, relatively significant for sure, running all the way through that little sequence there. Very, very interesting. What more do I say about it? I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at, you know, this reflective nature of this, and then this on the 10th, yeah. And remember, 1010 XX. Now that's a real scribbly mess, but 1010 XX, very interesting. 911, double 911. This may be partially, you know, why 911 was chosen, because of this twinism here as well. I don't know, you know, I think there's an awful lot of factors as to why that number was chosen, but this might play into that idea anyway. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on one soon. Cheers. Alright, bye. So I forgot to tell you why I decided to call it the Odyssey Sequence. Let me get rid of some of this nonsense here a second. And it's the fact that the reflective nature of it is 1010. Okay, and the Odyssey is 10 years off to war, and then it's 10 years getting home again. So there's this 10 years to get back to balance in both directions here. Okay, that's why I decided to call it the Odyssey Sequence. That's why I named it the Odyssey Sequence. That's why I just used that title, because of that reference to the number 10. Okay, so again, you see that XX, XX, the double X, a double cross. 1010 is the Odyssey, a 20-year total and 2 lots of 10. Okay, alright, that's it. Thanks, bye.